we're bound to have an epic finals. But we're going to start off with Rain Chaos versus Void on Vineyards, Alpenstadt, Million Runes, and Dynasty Sprawl. So I'm going to be going over the maps with you. And then we just wait for the room invite, which should pop up in a few minutes. So, like I said, map-wise, we are going to start with Vineyards, which looks something like this. Vineyards is a map that is one of my favorite maps in the game. I honestly really like it. I liked it better when we had the dusk setting though, because the ambience of the map was different then. And it was just a very nice map. It still is though, because position-wise not much has happened. Base C has been moved a little bit more to the back than we see on this image. But other than that, it's not really changed. We have base B closest to the south spawn, base A close to the north spawn. And what happens at base C is always a bit of a guess, because generally people don't overlook it, but they don't always go to cap it. And when all the action is taking place around base A or base B, the teams tend to send one or two, usually one, to go and cap base C. Because once you have that, the pressure is on, because there's only 3 bases, so if you dominate 2, and that means you get the advantage. So that is the first map that we're gonna get. Like I said, after Vineyards we are moving on to Alpenstadt, which looks like this. Again, map with 3 bases. You have base A, which is the mad base, base B, that is the cheeky base, in the middle of town, very hard to cap, lots of lines of fire into it. So it takes a lot of forward position to actually get to it. And base C in the lower right corner, which is pretty much a heavy base, but what we see most of the time is that the heavies are concentrated around base B in the whole area there, and then a fast tank gets dispatched. That's the word I was looking for. There we go. Sorry, it is very early here and I'm still a bit tired. But yeah, dispatched towards base C to cap it. So like with the Vineyards, to put the pressure on and to dominate those two bases. After Alpenstadt, we move on to... Where are you? There you are. Main Ruins. With base C, the mad base, base B, a cheeky base again, and base A, the heavy base. We've seen base B getting capped quite a lot by IS-4s or IS-7s, but it is a difficult base to cap, and the chances of getting HE out of it are quite big. Not to mention that once you cap it, you're pretty much stuck there, because if you try to leave the area, you will get absolutely slaughtered. So most of the time the tank that goes here does get the cap, but then is basically stuck around the edges there, trying to survive. And if we have a tiebreaker after Main Ruins, we are moving on to Dynasty Sprawl. Dynasty Sprawl is one of my least favorite maps in the game. It is there is the room invite. And Dynasty Sprawl is one of the smallest maps in the game, and that's one of the reasons I dislike it. It's position-wise, it can be quite fun. You have base A, which is in the middle of a square, base B between the buildings, and we have base C in the middle of a park. But overall, it is a tricky map, because there are so many lines of fire, and it's very hard to dominate 2 bases from one position. B and C come closest, quite literally too, without the whole staircase in the way with the statue, like between base A and B. But you have to overextend quite a bit to decap B, and at the same time you have to show yourself quite a bit to get base B. But there are lines of fire from behind base C into B, and that makes it a quite tricky map. I'm not that big a fan of it, mainly because of the size, because also if you're in a Columbine situation and you are a med, the chances of getting caught basically are very high, because there's just not much space for you to run to. So those are the maps that we start with. We have a different set for the grand finals, but there are 2 maps that will return there depending on how far we get there and we got into it. And I'm going to take away the map and we're going to focus on... Hang on, I might actually be missing a part of the stream because I was talking a lot and waiting for the room invite and all of that, just waiting for YouTube to catch up now. This is why I usually start the stream quite early, even though I have minutes left. And we might just be missing a little bit of pretzel at the beginning, but that's not all that bad. I'm waiting for YouTube to catch up now. Here we go. Like I said, there's a 5-minute delay on this stream, and that is everything to do with we don't want people to see each other's lineups. And I do that mostly. Last night, apparently, Wargaming told Brian to use a 3-minute delay on the official stream. I don't think that's a good call, because with the 5-minute wait for the first room that we get both matchups, I just don't want to risk that. That is too tricky in my opinion. But yeah. Meanwhile, we see me and Brian both on Rain Chaos' side and Void having Pixel Rage there. We have 3 streams going on right now, basically showing the same thing but different commentary, so you can decide which one you like the best and which one you want to watch the most. We have 2.5 minutes left, and Void and Rain are both almost ready up. I am calling it Rain now because I could also call it Chaos actually, but I generally tend to go by clan tag because I'm the most comfortable with that. So with 2 minutes left, we have Void with a complete lineup of a 268, a 113, an IS-4, 2 IS-7s, a Leo 1 and a Rail 4 Vineyards. And we see Rain Chaos rallying up with potentially an E3, an IS-7, 268, a 140 and 3 IS-4s. Not entirely certain yet about the E3, but we will see. And we just have to wait. In the meantime, I am refreshing YouTube. If you suddenly hear me talking, I apologize. But that is mainly to do with YouTube not really working along with me. And I want to see the chat, because even though there's a 5-minute delay, sometimes I can react to some questions that get asked there. And there we go. And now we are pretty much all ready with 1 minute left to go. And I think one of the reasons that I've noticed that I like Vineyards and other maps that I like is mainly because of the way that you can peek-a-boom from places. I like hilly maps where you can just peek over the edge, especially if you have a gun with a lot of gun depression, and just get those shots in. And that is a playstyle that I really enjoy, and I think that is why I like Vineyards that much, because there are so many different positions. It's also why I generally never go towards base C, because it's so flat, and I dislike the whole city areas in maps quite a bit. That's also why Himmelsdorf is one of my least favorite maps. It invites super heavies though, and the gameplay can be interesting, but overall, nah. In the meantime, we are entering the countdown clock. I'm just making sure I have no map on the screen. I am readied up, and here we go for the first matchup of this best of 7. Quite a few different avatars. Not everyone is a pro. There's my poor Fury Corpse. And here we go, up and away. And you have Leiby going towards base B. On the other side we see Void also splitting up quite a bit, with a little bit, well, mostly actually going towards base A, whereas Rain is going more towards the middle and more towards the city. Base A and B now both being capped. As usual, there are some positions where you can go to decap the bases, but they are very risky and take, basically me have to take a lot of chance. So Leiby just magically avoided being shot there. Has not even been spotted. We see more blind shot going in. And he is getting the heck out of there, but he is driving into a building a little bit there, so he has to be careful. And base C is moving to get capped, but they have been spotted, so that is a bit tricky, because they can get shot from there. As we see, Tommy immediately losing some HP, but they're capping together, so they will probably, even if Tommy loses some more HP, they will get away with it. We see a lot of blue firelands going into it. Void repositioning themselves. Tommy losing a bit more HP, but they have the base, so now they are pulling back. And they will need to hold against 4 tanks. We have the grill at the back, which is waiting for tanks to pass by at the back, namely the 268 and 140 there. And we have Tantan 2 strong now, ready to move in, and they are just going straight for it. even if they're immediately getting shot for it. Rob pushing on, Tantan now deciding to push on as well. The grill moving in, Tommy being absolutely smashed. And there goes Tommy. Base C not even being capped, they are going straight in. Rob is next. Ooh, that is painful. There goes Tommy, and now we have a sort of crossfire going on between Cora, Tantan, Leiwy and the guys on the right side. More of Void moving in. Tantan too strong, having almost no HP left. The 268 now going after Leiwy, which I think is a very good call. He does get hit there, but he has help. Cora now in trouble. The grill also getting a shot in. Ooh, that is an expensive bounce, and that could cost him the game. We have a lot of very low HP targets here. But for some reason people are still alive. People dropping left and right, but it is 4 versus 3. We have an E3 versus Leo going on at the back. The grill being focused. Amalrax being focused. And he doesn't make it out alive. But we have a 2 versus 2, one of which is a very... ooh, that was an expensive shot to miss. Now Menasukai is in trouble, and this first game looks to go to Void. They have almost 3 bases, we are at 850 points. The grill is coming up behind. The grill needs to be taken out for the needs to be taken out if they want to win this. There he goes. But then on the next reload, Menasukai is not going to survive this. And that means it's a 1 versus... Ooh, he actually manages to survive this. Magically. But there he goes, Leo 1 arriving. And the first game is for Void. And that was very close, but some shots that were pretty much key did not pen. And it was a very close call there, but very well pushed by Void. So we now get ready for the second match on Vineyards. And we see Void almost completely ready again. Still tanks being changed though. The grand finals is best of 9. The finals for the lower bracket is best of 7. You'll hear this in like 5 minutes, but yeah. So we have Void ready with a 2 268s, an E50M, 2 IS4s and 2 Leo 1s. So I think we're gonna see a cheeky move there where they're gonna decap base A from the ridge that is in the upper left corner. Not completely upper, but like slightly above the 0 in the scoreboard that we see right now. And we have Rain being ready in an IS7, an E3, 3 IS4s, a 140 and a 268. So now we just have to be patient and wait for the game to actually want to start the battle as well. Here we go, everyone is ready. And we are almost at the countdown clock. And here we go. I like the sparks flying in the screen, to be honest. And let's go up and away. And we see the Leos moving towards the corner that I thought they were gonna go. I think we are definitely gonna see that action. Leiwy might be in trouble if he tries to cap there. He's gonna get decapped. Or at least spotted and then absolutely wrecked. We have Amalrax holding at the back, Menasukai with him. Base A and B being capped. And here we go, the Leos are in position. Leiwy has not been spotted though. He is in the best position to cap this base behind the rock, but the Leos have been spotted. But now Leiwy is pulling back. He is in a tricky position here. He can't cap the base with those Leos there. And he is losing HP trying to get away. And that means that even though they are capping C, that Void has a point advantage. And that is such a cheeky move, but we've seen it a few times. They even didn't go to the ledge that I thought they would. Now we have Coyote Tango moving in. The people at base C pulling back more. The Mets bounding together. Minosukai moving in, whereas the Object 140 is moving off. And even though it's only 50 points, that's 2 tanks that you need to take out to make up for that point difference. And they are just keeping their eye on base A with the E50M there. And that is actually the spot that I meant when I said the Leos could push there. And it kind of makes sense, because that's what Leos are good for in this map, a move like that. But now they are pulling back. They might be going for the ones in the city. But it will be a bit before Rain notices that, and before they know they could potentially cap base A again. Tank Killer now being focused in a tricky position there. Repositioning himself. And we see the 268 and the E3 and the IS-4s making their move. Minosukai, I think, is being told to go to A. They have to try and get it. He does spot the E50M though. But he could go into it and cap it safely with the Leos now both gone. And they are spotted at base C. They have to get this base now. Tommy losing a lot of HP. Trying to get into the ruins there. And base C is being stolen. Base A is being kept. Shots being taken. But now Void still has the point advantage. We see shots happening. But they will need to steal another base for this to work. And Katze is in trouble. HP wise, it's not really looking good. There's a near 3k advantage for Void. And they have to make a move. They have to get those bases. Glory going after Katze. Katze almost dead. He does lose quite a bit of HP, but Katze manages to survive a little while longer. But there he goes. But Glory does lose quite a bit of HP. Leiby is now in a very tricky position. Tommy is almost dead. Leiby is just vanished. Tank Killer now in trouble with teams behind. And the game is all ready for a Void. They are at 1k points. And only 2 tanks died this match. That goes to show that it was built up pretty well. But overall, not enough risk was taken. Even damage-wise, there's not that much damage in this match. Usually, when a team has been knocked out, you see around 14k, 15k damage. So now it is 2-0 for Void. And the pressure is slowly but steadily coming for Rain. Because the first team to reach 4 victories is the one that is through to the grand finals. And we see Void almost completely ready up already for Alpenstadt with 2 268s. Okay, we see some tanks still being changed. So I can't call that yet. There we go, we have 2 268s, 2 IS-4s, a Batchat, an STB and an E3 for Void. And we have 2 mice, 2 IS-4s, 2 140s and an E3 for Rain. So that's a relatively heavy lineup for both. A bit more speed. Actually no, they both have 2 fast tanks. So yeah, it should be fun to see what they do with this. STB can be absolutely glorious on this map. But so can the Batchat, depending on position and depending on whether or not they get spotted while doing that. So I am curious to see how that will go. 15 seconds left. We are almost ready to enter the countdown clock and to enter the battle in this third game of best of 7 of the final stage of the lower bracket. And here we go. Up and away, we have the mouse going towards the middle, the mice I should say, together with an IS-4. And we have the 140s and one IS-4 heading towards base C. We see Void focusing primarily on base A side, and the Batchet is going to go straight in. Cheeky, but it will definitely work out in their favor. The 140s are still making their way towards base C, and that means that Void will definitely have a point advantage. We have Tank Killer moving in, taking a holding position, the mouse heading towards base B, base C now being kept. Both 140s have been spotted and lose quite a bit of HP there. And there we go, both teams have a base, but there's 40 points between them. And we have Void that is readying up to make a rush at the back. Amalrex has not been spotted yet, Tommy is pulling back. Coyote Tango taking a position to decap anyone that tries to cap base B. Tantan also in a position to do just that. And we have Rain pulling back, but they are pulling back together into a corner really. And that can be very tricky. Both teams have a base, but like I said, the point advantage is for Void. So they have to be careful. Some fire going on, random shots happening, but no damage being done other than the damage to Laiwi that we already saw. Tantan very slowly looking up, making his way towards base B. And with the mouse that far away, he might just get away with it too. Wanting to see what Tantan does, but he is actually pulling back. He did land a shot though, but it did no damage. E3 at the back, shooting Katze as he tries to protect base C. E3 has been spotted, takes some damage. The 140s are moving in together with the IS-4, and Void is immediately responding by pulling their least armored vehicles back together into the protection of the 268, and look at that shot going into, I don't know that name, the Object 140. The STB pulling back did take some damage there. The 268's almost reloaded. That did no damage, but it did track damage. Tank Killer moving in together with the mouse now. The 268's are retreating, base A is being stolen. Katze has taken a very forward position. We see shots happening all around. Tommy now moving in to take care of Coyote Tango. Base A has been stolen. And we see HP being bled all around. Base B is being taken. Amalrex losing a ton of HP. So does Tommy. And he's not really in a good position. Amalrex almost gone. There goes the mouse. And that was too forward from both the mouse and the E3, because they're both gone now. And even though they have the base advantage, they're not going to survive this. Look at this. They do take out a tank. The Object 140 is still alive magically. He's not going to make this though. Most he can do is one more shot of damage. Tank Killer is almost gone. And then we have Laiwi and Katze and Mendosukai that... Oh, actually no, only Mendosukai and Katze that are just left. One of them is dealing with a 268 that really wants him. And he's gonna have a Batchet and another IS-4 to contend with as well. And he's not gonna be able to survive this for long. Base A is being capped, base B is being capped. But it's mostly the principle of having to survive that is gonna cost them. He's driving into the base for as long as possible. Base C is still there. but they're not going to be able to make this. Now Katsu is the only one left, and he has an IS-4 and an E3 contend with. And he's losing a lot of HP doing that. And this game is definitely for Void. And he does manage to get another kill, but then he goes, and that is the end of this game. And the game is for Void. And now the pressure is definitely on, because it is 3-0 for Void. And that means Rain Chaos has to win every single match from now on if they want to go through to the grand finals. Whereas Void only has to win one of those 4 games to go through to the grand finals. And we have Void almost completely readied up. Still some things being changed though, same thing on Rain Chaos' side. But there we go, Void has readied up with 2 AMX-50Bs, 2 E-50Ms and 3 IS-7s. So that's a lot of troll armor. And not all that much speed, because even though the E-50M is a medium, it is one of the slower mediums. But again, in Oppenstadt it can work. And we see that it's also a Rampanzer, so it can do quite a bit of damage with that as well. And on Rain Chaos' side we see an E3, a 268, 2 140s, 2 IS-4s and a Batchat. So that's a lot more mobility. But the question is whether the lack of armor is going to break them up, especially against those AMX-50Bs. And we have half a minute left to go for this very important match, because like I said, the pressure is definitely on Rain to win this, because they have to win 4 games in order to go through. 19 seconds left to go. And we are all set. Almost at the countdown clock. I am readied up. There is no map on the screen. Just checking to make sure. And here we go. And we see Rain focusing. Ooh, we have Void that is pulling together all together towards the middle of the map. And Rain's taking more tactical position, but that can cost them if they all move in, which they appear to be going to do. I know they are holding now though, but you have the IS-7s in the middle. They are going to get spotted quite quickly. No one is around base A. Batchat has spotted some. Katsa at the back in the E3 is in trouble now. And they are moving to base A. The Batchat is moving away. We have one of the AMXs that got spotted. We have the 140 taking a more forward position. But they have to be careful not to get detached from the team, because that could absolutely ruin it. We have a blind shot going on. Both teams have a base. Tiny point advantage for Void. But now it's just a matter of where will the push come from, because it looks like Void is in for a nice little push there with the AMXs. But they are mainly waiting for Rain to make a move, I think. Laiwi in a bit of a tricky position. Tommy there to help. And he takes a massive hit trying to get away from there. And that was not the most safe way to do that. But he is still alive. Katsuna also taking damage. Closer to base B. And Void is making an aggressive push. That I was expecting. But not with the AMXs that far back. Crossfire happening all around. Massive damage being done. Trying to show you all. But you see with the tracers that basically... Oof. Rain is getting hammered here. We have the E-50Ms that are going to go after the 268. All tanks are still alive, but some are barely so. And Void is capping all the bases. So that's not gonna work out in their favor. There goes Menasukai. That was a very expensive shot to bounce by Amorax. Tank Killer is almost dead. Amorax is now being focused. Tantan too strong, almost reloaded to take out Tank Killer. There he goes. Tommy having very little HP left. Look at this. The only one that is still healthy is the Batchat, and there's not much he can do against this onslaught. Amorax is now gone. Cora just died. But it is 5 versus 3, 5 versus 2. And like I said, the only one with decent HP is the Batchat. And he's gonna get absolutely slaughtered now. There goes Lewy. And we hit 1k points. And it is Void that is through to the grand finals against Rain. So with a 4-0, Void is fighting their way into the grand finals to fight the other Rain team, which is called Rain, hence the Rain. And that means that we now have about 45 minutes of replays to watch, because you don't want to see me playing PC. So I'm going to show you some, and let me find it. I'm going to start off with, even though it is a tier 6, it is an epic game. And most importantly, it's in a tank that I really like. And another important fact, it is by Rolling Swarm, who's also streaming this. He's very close to 2k subs, so definitely subscribe to him. Shameless plug on my side for him, because he definitely deserves it. And it is just such a funny tank, and I like that he has the proper camouflage for it, because it just looks so fun. For those that don't know, it is a Star Wars camouflage based on the TIE Fighter. And it does look hella cute. So Brian is starting by going to the back. The MT-25 going to cap the base. And he's taking a position to basically help his buddy if he needs to. Especially nice in a bush like that. Those are very weird bushes, but okay. But there's no one there. They cap base A. So now they are free to move elsewhere. And this I like, taking a moment to see if he could potentially shoot that little Cheery there. Smasher can't be shot though. And now he's moving in. First shot of damage in. He has to be careful of those KV2s though, because that can be absolutely deadly. There's a Smasher, nice little cheeky shot. He just has to be careful. And that one bounced. And he is pulling back more, which I think is a good call, because he can still get the shots in without being seen as much. And now he's not getting focused on, but he's free to do the damage. And this is something that I really like. He's using sniper mode to make sure that, well, okay, that one didn't, but to have the most odds that his shots will pen. And he is staying still. He knows that when he's not visible, and he doesn't need to bother. Ooh, that shot missed though. We don't know where he went. Oh, there he is. When he isn't spotted, he does not need to move. He can just focus on getting the shots in. And he is being careful, because after the first shot, he is pulling back to make sure that he isn't spotted. But then he just does the damage. Now he has been spotted though, so he has to be careful. There goes the Smasher, but there's still a KV2 in the game. And he is pulling back a little bit, which I think is a very good call. Cheery now moving in, wanting to get more damage in, but losing a ton of HP trying to do that. The easy 8 at the back there. Team are getting slaughtered basically, but all the same, he's getting some nice shots in. And I really like the way that he does the whole spotting and just staying back. Because he doesn't need to take the risk. He has been spotted now, but there's 4 guys there, none of which can actually shoot him. But that KV2 is the main problem. That's the one you need to be careful for. Because getting one-shotted at this stage is not fun. Nice little cheeky shot there. And he is wisely pulling back a little bit. Nice bounce. It is 2 versus 3. Some blind shots happening. KV2 now, a nice target. We are 3k damage into it. And Brian is now repositioning himself. He just has to be careful. Building at the back so he can't pull back further. Nice high roll. Pretty much they're all one-shots, but it is a Kolobanov situation, so he has to be careful. And he lacks a base, and he has to be careful of the KV2 first and foremost. That bounce though. Ooh. There we go. But where is that KV2? Now he has the point advantage. He doesn't need to take any risks. But knowing him, he will want to get off, to go after that KV2 as well. And he is just pulling back. There we go, base B being capped. That's a pretty... It's not necessarily a smart move. Mainly because it shows your enemy exactly where you are. And Brian is just moving around a little bit so that he can get a good shot in. Nice. 3.7k damage nearly in a tier 6 vehicle. That is epic. Camper medal though, but in this case I actually agree a lot with what he did. I absolutely love the way that he just noticed that, okay, I'm not spotted, I can stay here. Because otherwise you have to re-aim every single time. And that's really unnecessary. But yeah, like I said, he's very close to 2k subs. Go and subscribe to him. He's another streamer. He's all about the competitive gameplay. And he does a whooping job. So that is the first one that I have for you. I'm going to show you something else now. I'm going to just decide which one I want though. And I'm going to go for this one first. I'm just reading that Brian also showed a replay of mine. I was trying so hard to get a good game so that he had something to show as well, because he wanted to. But I've been not in the best of health, and my focus and concentration mainly suffer from that. So I can't really focus on pretty much anything. And playing is definitely... What? That radical behind... Okay. But playing is pretty much beyond me. So I was really happy when I was driving the Chinese tier 10. And for the very first game I ever drove in it. And I managed to get a first class. That was actually pretty awesome. I quite like that. Nice little cheeky shot there. Chieftain is such a lovely tank. It is not the strongest because it's British, so it has pretty much no armor. But it is such a fun tank and I really love it. And it's one of the few times that I got lucky with the crates. And now I do get that he's just wiggling like that because you don't want to get shot. Ooh, that did no damage. I7 being hammered. Yege moving in. Not fast enough. Well, too fast for the chieftain to shoot. But with 3 tanks there, they kind of have to move in. DS getting a nice shot there though. Jäger now moving into position to get shot. T-57 heavy as well. Oof. Team is getting absolutely hammered. They are all moving in. They are driving by, and that means that they basically get hammered, but at the same time it is costing them quite a bit of HP for that to happen. T-57 heavy now in trouble, and the chieftain wisely decides not to go there but to go off to the lone tank here instead, which I think is a better idea. Always pick off the ones that are alone. And he is trusting his teammate to finish it off, which he does. That's something that I have another replay that I won't show you, but one of my clanmates was in a game and he trusted his teammate to actually finish up. Oof, nice fire. And now the Death Star is a one-shot, but he has to be careful. That it's a building. It is 3 versus 5, so that is very tricky. That DS needs to go. There we go. But yeah, he was trusting his teammate to do something, and it actually just... his teammate didn't manage to do it, and that was just painful. E100 missed. He just has to be careful. And there we go. We are 5.3k damage in. That shot the gun. It is now 2 versus 2. One of which is a one... Ooh, nice little bounce there. How did that not pen? Oh my god. He has a lot of HP left though. So he's just going in, killing off the E100. We have the object that is slowly there. There we go, that actually pens. One more. There we go, nicely done. 6.4, no, nearly 6.5k damage. 4 kills. Lovely little chieftain game. By winch. 1642 basic XP. But yeah, with the Chinese TD, I actually got a first class in the very first game I ever drove in it. And it was during a countdown event, so I was meeting a lot of people that I knew and that were on voice with me. And it was just so much fun. I was very cheeky, I was very forward. I also got really lucky because one of those friends was driving the Jäger, and he was actually cussing when he missed his shot on my butt. Which would have possibly made the game go very differently. But yeah, that was a really fun game. So let's see what else I have for you. Ooh, this is actually a tank I haven't driven or seen in a very long time. With good reason. But that means that I am going to show you that now. We still have plenty of time left. And it is in the Lupus, the Quasimodo of Blitz. It's one of the weirdest looking tanks. I do have it. I am glad that I have it because I'm a bit of a collector and I like the more unique tanks. But I'm not all that much fun of driving it. And let's see what he does with it. T-43 now moving along. Not sure what is going on here. This is not very useful. They are moving together, but they're really stuck together and just annoying each other. But now they are moving in a similar direction. I like how the people at the back there are more or less camping. Are like, you have to do this, you have to do that. And now they have to decide where to go. The enemy base is now. The enemy team is also capping base. Ooh, he doesn't take the shot. T43 at the back there. There we go. That's a shot. But they have an IS here. Johnny is still reloading, so in a bit of a tricky position here. This is gonna... Ooh, it is not even gonna be painful. Especially when the IS hit the rock. And is now deleted by their team. T43 at the back. Can't really shoot him now, though. That was a wasted shot. Way too little space. Not enough aiming. Base B now also being kept. They kind of have to make a push now, though. And there we go. Nice little bounce. And now we are going after the IS-3. Nice little hit there. He might take a shot now. There we go. But he has a team that is helping T43 in the way. But also defending him. And there he goes. IS-3 is finished. So now the T43 is on the menu. Johnny can't really shoot him there. Ray Chieftain. It's actually one of the very few British tanks that I really like. I'm generally not that big a fan of them. Most of them don't fit my playstyle. But the Chieftain is just absolutely lovely. FCM was one of the tanks that was... It used to be so much fun. It was one of the... I think it was the first French tank that we got in the game. And it is a lot of fun. What is that Sue doing? Nice. But it was the first French tank in the game, I believe, and I really liked it then, but ever since then there have been so many tier 8 primes that it's just not as competitive as it was before. And that's the same with a lot of tanks. Lupus as well. It's a tier 7 and it's a good tank, but it's not really a fun... it's just not really a fun tier anymore, I should say. Load the gold. That was pretty much useless. No idea what you needed that when he could have done the damage. And we are going after the... Load the gold! Again! Now he loads the gold. A bit too late now though. With that 2 shots you would have killed him. There we go. They have 3 bases. He does take... Oh, that was a nice miss. He does take some damage though. That one didn't go through, but we still have the KV-4. He has plenty of health left though. So he should be able to have this. And that is the end of the KV-4. And Lupus gets to live another day. .409 supremacy points, a little bit of assisted damage. Not that much damage all the same. I think this tank is outliving its popularity, and that might mean that I have to drive it again. Because I have not aced yet mine yet either. So let's see what else I have for you. We still have about half an hour left to kill, so 25 minutes before the room invite is up. From 10 minutes before onwards, I won't be showing you replays again, mainly because I don't want to risk missing the room invite. This camo, I've noticed, looks good on pretty much anything. It is awesome. Okay, you probably just jinxed it. So let's see where Tibo is going. He's going to the middle, obviously. Base B is being kept, so he's gonna get some assisted damage here, I believe. The 1-2-1 moving back, the Leo one there as well. And he does not really have the gun depression to make this work. He's just keeping them spotted, trying to bait them. Bouncing a nice shot himself there. IS-4 is moving in, T-Bow is moving back. He can't really do much there, so I think that's a good call. The Proto that wants to grill so much. What is that 1-2-1 doing? Aside from going pretty much YOLO. T-57 Heavy moving in. Base B being kept by the Proto. He really wants that grill. Too much hasty shots going on. Pro is almost deleted. They need to play this carefully. T-57 Heavy going over the top now. Proto now is gonna... He did not get the grill. Ooh, that was a lucky pen. And the IS-7 here now in trouble. There we go. And now it is 6 versus 3. 6 versus 2. Nice little bounce there. He just has to be careful of that Death Star that's around there somewhere where he's now driving. There he is. And with the gun sound that we heard, we didn't really have to be careful here. He's now a one-shot though. E100 moving in. There he goes. And now it's just the E100. That allowed a free shot on his lower plate. Nice missed shot. There we go, T-Bow moving to the back, making him turn his turret, making it all the more exciting for his team to shoot him. And there we go. Second class, but a nice little game. Nice teamwork there between the team. Loved seeing that. And that is mainly the purpose of this specific game, the way that they work together. Seeing comments about the whole prices thing, that was only in EU and RU, unfortunately. I would have loved to give you freebies. That's one of the things I love doing as a CC, but unfortunately not a chance here. Let's see what else I have for you. I have a few replay channels that I'm sort of like picking replays from. Actually, I have this one, so let's show that. This is one of the tanks we have been seeing quite a bit in the tournament. And it's by NA, which makes it more fun to show on an NA stream in my opinion. Skippy the Pinhead, the names that we see in this game every now and again are a bit questionable, let me put it that way. And I like that he's being quite forwards, even though there's an E100 there. E50, sorry. Goes to show how tired I am. I doubled his number. There we go, people being spotted. I think he is typing, or no, he's not. And he wants this position. He's basically just blocking his teammate from doing whatever, just because he wants the position. That is not really the way to play, though. Especially since he's not yet been able to land a single shot. The waffle moving at the back. Nice little fire there. No, I wouldn't say that. Teamwork is definitely far bit hard to find, though. Chief and MK6 at the back there. And he's pretty much not able to do much of anything here. Blind shot. It is 6 versus 4. There goes the waffle. Enticing target like that. Ooh, he misses though. He does take a bit of damage for that. And he's basically alone, so he has to be careful. Chieftain's still overexposing himself and paying the price for it. And we see the VK and the STI moving in. There we go, STI primary target. There we go, he does manage to finish the STI. And it is now 4 versus 3. There's a fire truck driving by. Maybe for the fire on the waffle earlier. Nice little block damage there. .704 going down. And now is a one-shot base A being stolen by the waffle. But taking out the 704 is probably more important. 704 making it very easy to do that. AMX 50B and the waffle are the ones left. Ooh, that was an expensive bounce. AMX moving in, his teammate is getting some nice shots in. And we only have 2 minutes left. Nice little HE shot there. Nearly oh, it's actually more than 5k damage. And just ram him, you're an IS-7. Ram the AMX. There we go. And now you have one shot left for the waffle. And that is hiding behind a building right now. Pre-aim, pre-aim. And he is a one-shot now. So he has to be careful peeking here. There we go, Waffle going towards the other way. Nice, not aimed. And that is the way to do it when you know for certain AP can kill it. And then you don't want to use HE because the shell velocity is less. So a nice little game, even if the beginning wasn't all that promising, but they are the two that still survived at the end. And we still have 18 minutes left to go, so that means I can show you at least one more. I like that Batman Butman is actually talking about don't know what you mean with questionable names. Uh-huh. Let's see what else I have for you. I've shown most of these and just need to remembering what maps I showed them on. Let me show you this one then. I would love to. Why is it not? Nah, useless. It's not actually showing. Let's try this again. Here we go. And let's see what he does. He's a bit undecided as to where to go. I would like to drink coffee, but I actually can't because I react to caffeine. So I can drink coffee, but I do it very rarely because I react to caffeine if I've had a bit too much of it. And a bit too much would equal 2 cups in 2 days, so yeah. So he is changing position. Let's see if we can get a cheeky shot somewhere. And yes, we can. Immediately pulling back in case there's campers and in case he's spotted, but he's not spotted yet. IS-8 not being able to get shot there. No, just to clarify, when the matches start again, it is best of 9. And the one that reaches 5 victories first is the one that wins the games. This I don't get. You could have had a perfect achievable shot there and you would have done tons more damage. AMX moving back but unable to hit. Now the lame jokes are being busted out to try and make me laugh. Oh shit. Oh god, I knew it was gonna be a lame joke, but I still like it. I like smart-ass jokes like that. And now the AMX is moving away. And that shot missed. Oof. Badum-ts. And let's see what happens now. Now he is switching to HE, so that is promising. E100 now in trouble, actually so much in trouble that he's absolutely dead. The Yege being very friendly and nice and all that. Nice little hit there on the Leo. Reducing him to 1 shot. Yeah, you really ran out of beer for this mud. Too hasty a shot. No damage done. It is 3 versus 4. Object 704 is being complete YOLO now. DS at the back. There we go. Nice little patient shot there. 704 still alive. Barely, but still alive. Nice little shot again. And that Leo is just there waiting. The Jaeger is being absolutely rude. And now it is 2 versus 2. And this is a very tricky thing to do with HE. Actually, no, he's doing it with AP. Because the truck was in the way. Because he could have easily hit the truck with that. And actually damage himself potentially. But he's not that close to the truck. We are 5k damage in. Nice bounce by the Waffle. Waffle not pulling back fast enough and then he dies. And now his loader is gone. And that can be tricky if the Leo moves fast and well. The T-22 giving a pep talk. And the T-30 is going in. And thanks to Batman Butman, I'm now thinking of really lame jokes. And this is actually quite funny, because now he's moving up. And the Leo seems clueless as what to do. And therefore, he dies. We get 5 kills, 5.6k damage. Nicely done. $1,481 base XP. Not bad at all. So now in 5 minutes the room will be up, so I'm not gonna bore you with more replays. Instead we are going to go over the maps that we have for the grand finals of the NA server. Earlier today we saw it was TNM versus XR and TNM took it home 5-0. Then earlier tonight we saw Eros beat Raid with 5-3. And now we get to see for NA what's going on, so that's going to be fun. And we start off on a map that we've already seen today, which is Alpenstadt. Alpenstadt, I've already talked about it. We've also already seen some epic action on it, so there's not much use to my telling you all about this map. But yeah, like I said, you have the med base at base A, the cheeky base at base B, and the heavy base at base C. Most of the time we see the action happen around base B and base A, but mostly the heavies around base B and the faster tanks around A. With positional, some campers here and there. We saw a nice little push up by Raid into the lower right corner with a 268, and he did quite some damage even if they didn't win the game. So after Alpenstadt we move on to one of my favorite maps in the whole thing, which is Faust. I love Faust. Faust is so much fun. And with Faust I like it mainly because you have the tunnels and the bridges and all of that, and just the positioning is mightily interesting. You can get shots into other places from such weird angles and weird positions. It's just a lot of fun. So we have base C closest to the north spawn, base D close to the middle spawn, to the south spawn. Base B, which is the cheeky spawn again, that's usually base B to be honest. and that is pretty hard to cap, but once you get it, it's very easy it's fairly easy, not very, but fairly easy to hold. And base A, which is the med base, which is a bit removed from everything. In randoms, I generally either go for D or for A, depending on if I have a slow tank or a fast tank. And yeah. And after Faust, we move on to Naval Frontier, which looks like this. You have base A and B close together, base C, which is deemed the med base. We generally see a lot of action going on there. I always prefer to go base A and work my way from there. And we have seen that up north, above the red spawns that you see on the map here, there are some quite tricky positions that people can get to. We have seen a 268 there. Last year we saw a grill there. I've also seen a Leo camp there. And they can get shots into quite a lot of places there. So that is the third map that we're going to move to. And after that we go to a map that we've already seen as well. That I've already gone over as well, I should say. Which is Dynasty Sprawl. And Dynasty Sprawl, like I said, a very small map. Base A in a square, base B between the buildings, base C in a park. Lines of fire possible into all bases, and mostly what we see here is a lot of super heavies, and then someone calls for a push and they all push for the same team, and then the team with the most efficient focus fire actually takes it home. And after Dynasty Sprawl, if we get a tiebreaker, we get to go to one of the maps that I also quite like, Normandy. And Normandy I quite like, especially in tournaments and calendar wars like this, because it is not a map that we've seen all that much. Of course, teams will have trained on it quite extensively by now, but I like that we get it here, because in a tournament, and especially a tournament of this magnitude, the pressure is different. So that is mainly the thing where you have to see whether or not all you worked for, all the tactics that you have, are working out. So especially using it as a tiebreaker map is actually quite evil in my opinion. In randoms, I generally go for base D or base C, depending on where I start, and then just push for the other one, because there are quite some lines of fire into base B, which is on a little bit of a hill thing. And base A is not much protected either, because behind the bunkers that we see closest to the spawn 3 on both sides, there are lines of fire into those into base A. So that is something that you don't really want to get hit by, because usually it's the big TDs that are standing there. So those are the map that we're gonna have. Like I said, it's a best of 9, so the one that reaches 5 victories first is going to take home the championship. And here we have the room in the Vite, and I'm readied up just to make sure that I have no map on the screen. We are readied up, so we will be entering the match. Oh my god. Basically, the more tired I am, the more smart as my humor becomes. So then jokes like, what do you call a fake noodle? An impasta. They do it for me. And that's so bad. Oof. But yeah, that is fun. And we have Void completely present with an M2 light in the lineup, which I have just a general feeling that that is not what they're gonna take, and they already changed it, and we are waiting for Rain to move in. There we go, there is Rain. And I'm also waiting for Rolling Swarm and Pixel Rage to join me, but they still have like 4 minutes. And even though we are still missing people, they still have 3.5 minutes left to make it to the room and to be able to spectate. I'm trying to ignore the jokes now so that I can focus on the games that we have. I'm still missing Pixel Rage and Rolling Swarm. I do hope they got an invite though, because that would suck if they didn't. But they will likely just appear in soon. 3 minutes left to go. Rain is almost completely readied up. Void is all there, but not yet readied up. I'm going to take this moment to take a bit of lemonade. Because talking all this much is thirsty business. There we go. Brian arrived. Pixel's not there yet though. And both teams have not yet completely finished their lineup. Tank still being changed a little bit for Alpenstadt. Void having the disadvantage that Rain could watch them play earlier and see what potential tactics they have. But pretty much all teams at this stage have a lot of tactics for every map, for every spawn, with different lineups and everything. So the chances that we see the tactic again that we saw before is very slim. And we have Rain now completely readied up with an two IS-4s, two 268s, a 140, a T22 medium and a mouse. And Pixel Rage also made it now, so we are complete in both streamers and teamers. And we have Void that is now ready up with two AMX 50Bs, two E50Ms and three IS-7s. So that is a lot of IS-7s we've been seeing them use today. So we have just over a minute left to go before we go into the match and see the first match of this grand finals. To see who takes it home, who becomes the champion of the professionals tournament of the spring season tournament series for the NA server. "45 seconds left to go, thereabouts. We just have to be patient a little bit longer before we see the start of this. And it will be curious to see how they perform here, what they will do. Because the pressure is different now, even though you have at least 5 games, well 4 games before the pressure is really on. It is different at this stage when you get this much pressure. And here we go. First match of the grand finals. That camo looks so good. It's such an American camo in my opinion, but it does look good in most tanks. So we go up and away and we see what they do. We have Rain focusing primarily a little bit on the middle, but mostly on the right side of the map towards base A. And we have Void moving in, all of them, towards base A as well. So they have to be careful there. We see first shot going into Coyote Tango. They are rushing straight in. This is basically an epic rush. E50M already completely gone. And first tank is out of the equation. But the AMX 50s are there. The 268 have been spotted. They need to be careful of those AMXs. Hated Fate taking a little bit of damage there. The AMX is now unloading their clip. They have been spotted though, so with the 268 there, they can get some massive damage in there. Base B being base A being capped. T22 taking some damage there. But even though they cap base A, oof, Hated Fate now being pretty much obliterated. They need to be careful. Glory has very little HP left, but so does Mo. And we see that now Mo is gone. Fishy is in trouble. And we see that they are now moving in. Rob has very little HP left. People are bumping into each other. There goes Rob, there goes Cora. This first match is basically just massacre. It is 6 versus 3. It's nearly 6 versus 1. It is 5 versus 3, but very little HP left. And the only one with a healthy HP pool is Tantan. And he's going down, wanting to destroy TJ, but not getting the option to do so. Nice little ram here. There he goes. And the first match is for Rain. That was a very quick match. I'm gonna check the time to see how quick that was. Just over 2 minutes, oh my god. So that was the first game of the best of 9. Like I said, we still have time. And with these aggressive pushes, they can work. But you have to push together. That E50M basically got himself singled out and he just got absolutely destroyed. And we now have, with a minute and a half left to go, we have Void readied up in 268s, 2 IS4s, a Batchat, an STB1 and an E3. That's a very similar, that's a lineup that I think we saw before, earlier tonight. And we see Rain readying up in 2 IS4s, an E3, 2 Object 140s, the T22 medium and a 268. With a minute left to go, we are absolutely ready. And we just have to wait for the game to basically catch up. This is why I would like it so much if there was just a button where teams can click I am ready. And when they are, they just go when they both are, that is. It would take a bit of self-control from the captains. And of course you have the timer, so when it hits 0 then you would automatically go. But it would help if you have a button like that so you can just go earlier if you need to. To answer your question, you will have 5 minutes to guess as... Oh, no, actually Dwarf already answered. I am from the Netherlands. So here we go, we are readied up, we are rearing to go for the second match of this best of 9 grand finals. And let's see what happens. Up and away. And we see Rain focusing primarily on base A side again, with the E3 going to potentially overlook either base B or base C or a bit of both. We have Void taking a lot more careful approach now, whereas Rain is being quite aggressive. TJ taking a big hit there already. And they are just going straight on in. TJ is being focused. They want to get the STB out of the way. This is costing him a lot of HP though. And now they decided to change direction and they're going after the two 268s. And Adrenaline has been activated all around. Fish, ooh, that was a big hit. A lot of HP, and there goes Ghost Ranger. Now Cora is in trouble as well. He's almost dead, and that is a very aggressive move from Rain. Shots being fired, the IS-4 now moving in. Base A has been kept, his Royal Fatness has to be careful though. Fishy moving in against Tantan. TJ now in a bit of trouble. Dragon Creek losing HP. They need to get that 268 out of the way before he gets to do more damage, quite literally. The 3 mats pulling back. Dragon Creek moving in. Cora not being spotted, and he can't really afford to be, because then he would be the primary target. E3 is now being targeted. There goes the STB. And there goes Hated Fate. TJ just lost his life here as well. Both teams have lost 2 tanks, but Rain has the base. Ooh, massive hit into Mo there. And they are going after Tantan here. But they have to be careful, because Mo is now a one-shot, even though they really didn't mean it. 268 just got a shot in. E3 is moving in. They have to be careful. There goes Mo. There goes Tantan. It is 4-4. Ooh, that was an expensive hit. Glory just lost his life. We have a bit of a Mexican standoff being here, but we have the E3 at the back moving in. Ready to get some shots in. And I'm gonna take you to his view to see what he does. He's going to go after Coyote. There we go. And now E3 is moving in, shooting the one tank that he doesn't automatically one-shot. There goes Fishy. Cora still alive. E3 getting some damage in. Ooh, this could be tricky. E3 now moving in to finish off the other E3. And now it's all about who reloads the fastest. And now it's 1-1. And his Royal Fatness will reload faster, but can he take out the 268? I hope he has Premo loaded. And he can be HE'd, and that is very tricky for his Royal Fatness. He has to play this carefully. He doesn't need to take any risk here, because they have the base. He doesn't need to take any risk. Don't do it. Careful there. Cora moving towards base A. He does not really have much of a chance. His Royal Fatness moving back. This can go very wrong. He's looking in the wrong direction. Woo! And there we go. The game is for Cora here. And that was just a bad estimated guess by his Royal Fatness of where he would, where the 268 would pop up again. Very nice gameplay though. That was lovely to see. And now it is 1-1. And we have Void almost completely readied up with 3 IS-4s, 2 140s and 2 E3s. So that is a lot of firepower with a lot of throw armor and some mobility. There we go, chains are being changed. We now have a lineup of 1 IS-4, 2 140s, 2 E3s, an IS-7 and a mouse. And we see Rain getting ready with 2 mice, 2 140s, 2 IS-4s and a Chieftain MK6 for Faust. And Faust is just such a fun map. I love the cheek. It's basically, cheeky is one of my stop words for this whole tournament stuff, but it's such a cheeky map and I absolutely love it. 40 seconds left to go before we get to go into the third match of this best of 9 lineup. And we just have to be patient a bit longer. Again, both teams are completely ready. And we just want to see what goes on. 13 seconds left to go. And here we go. First match on Faust. Ooh, this is a nice camo. That looks quite nice. I do prefer the very gaudy British camo though. Looks awesome. And we have Rain focusing primarily on base D, with the 2 mats going towards the middle, potentially grabbing base B very early. That would be very cheeky if they did that. Not sure if they're gonna do that though. We have the 140s there at the back from Void. Cora going into towards the back there. The 140s have been spotted. But they are capping a base. And they are capping it together, so the chances that they get away with it are quite big. TJ losing quite a bit of HP though. But they will still get it in time. And now they just have to get out of there before they are slaughtered. TJ getting shot. Glory taking damage now. And they just have to be careful. Korra's now moving in his Royal Fat... Ooh, TJ escaping that one. But his Royal Fatness is now in trouble with people all around him. He's not going to survive for much longer. He has barely any HP left. TJ again miraculously surviving that. And there goes his Royal Fatness. The mouse moving in. Shooting another mouse. But doing no damage yet. Base B is being stolen. I wonder if they're going to get away with that. They don't really have a choice though. And that means that the point advantage will be for Void. Rain pushing in with the three of them together. Glory making a move to get behind them. The mouse losing a lot of HP. TJ now in trouble with Glory appearing behind him, but he is turning around to deal with him. Nice little bounce there by TJ. The mouse getting shot. TJ getting a little bit of help as well. And that means that Glory... that is the end of Glory for this match. Both teams have lost a tank now, but TJ is almost dead. We have a Mexican standoff going on here. Mo in a lot of trouble. The mouse getting shot. Mo now dead. Fishy in a tricky position now in the Chieftain. He's getting shots in the rear. But he's not going to survive much longer if these two push in for him. We have Coyote Tango at the back there. But that shot misses. And he has to be careful that he... Ooh, that was a big hit. And it is 5 versus 4. And it's going to be 5 versus 3. He does manage to get one more shot in. But there he goes. And it is 3 versus 2. And the base and point advantage are in Void's hands. Hated Fate now holding. I'm going to try and show you what is happening here. Because the camera doesn't always like it when I try to go into the buildings. The mouse now moving in. They have to band together. They have to focus on not losing HP fast or easily. Shots bouncing. Hated Fate making a move. I'm gonna take you around to see what happens. A3 getting ready for Hated Fate. But they are now pushing in for the mouse. The mouse losing a lot of HP. This was too aggressive. And Hated Fate is gonna go around for the E3. There we go. But the mouse has lost a ton of HP for this. And he's not gonna survive this. Nice little bounce though, so he gets to survive a little bit longer. If he takes out... Ooh, that was an expensive bounce. And now it is 2 versus 1. And this looks to be a Void's game, especially since we are already at 900 points. Nice little bounce by the IS-7 there, shielding his teammate. They are playing this very carefully. They are at 940 points. There we go. But Hated Fate has a lot less HP now. And that can work out really against him. Both guys will be shooting a lot of premo here. I'm gonna take you in for a closer look. And he won't survive this one. Oh, he does. But we are 999 points. If that one shot hadn't bounced, but had done damage, the game would have been for Rain, but it did not. And that is some epic damage for Hated Faith. But those few bounce shots basically cost him the game. And now it is 1-2 for Void. And it still can go every which way. So we have a minute and a half left to go. And then we get to see the fourth match of this best of 9. Best of 9. And then we will see what happens. So with 1 minute left to go, we now have Void readied up with an IS-4, 2 140s, 2 E3s, an IS-7 and a mouse. And Rain has readied up with an IS-4, a 140, 2 AMX 50Bs, a Batchat, a T22 medium and a 215B. And now we have 32 seconds left to go. Everyone is ready. We are waiting for the fourth match for the game to let us into it. I am ready up. There is no map on the screen. "15 seconds left to go. And here we go for the countdown clock. We are almost ready to go into the match. And here we go. So let's see what happens, what they do this time. Up and away. We have his Royal Fatness that is going to cap the base. AMX is going to the back. And we have the Mets going towards base A, and they're going to probably be meeting the 140s there. One Mo going more towards the middle. Kate having been spotted. But both teams managed to cap their base in peace. With a tiny point advantage for Rain. But it is really tiny. So now the T22 seems to be moving in together with the 140. They will want to cap base A. But they will have to be careful of those 140s there. TJ now capping. The 140s not yet having been spotted. There we go. And now the 140s are moving in. Cora is moving up behind. And it's more troll cap than anything else. Shots being fired. A little bit of HP being bled. And we have Void basically pulling together towards base A. And that can be very costly depending on what the rest of Rain will be doing. Because they are now leaving base A behind. The AMXs are ready for action though. Base A now being capped by Cora. Shots happening all around. AMX managing to avoid getting shot by the E3 there, I believe it was. Base A has been capped now. And we have the T22 moving in to deal with the 140s. Together with Apropanda. And they are going straight for it. But they have to be careful. Tracking shot E3 losing a bit of damage there. A little bit of HP. Hated Faith making his way to them. But they have to be careful. Not to give away a gun. The Batchat going towards the middle, potentially to cap base. But to cap bases actually, because he can easily do that. With everyone being tied up around base A. But that means that they will have to play this very carefully. Hated Faith losing a ton of HP there, but so does Coyote Tango. And the Batchat is going to steal base D, which I think is a very clever move, but it does leave them one tank short. That bounced though by the AMX there. But there he goes, and the first gun is out of the equation. The mouse moving in. And we have the AMX going up behind. He's going to meet the E3 there though, so he has to be very careful. Losing a lot of HP. Oof. And he's just getting absolutely slaughtered now. And that was a very risky move by Rain that didn't pay off. Massive damage going on all around. TJ just vanished as well. Apro Panda. Not going to be able to survive this. And he does not even get another shot in. It is 7 versus 3. One Mo being absolutely deleted. Batchet having taken the base does not mean anything now. Unless they start taking out those one-shots. There goes his Royal Fatness. Korra's next in line. But the Batchet is losing a ton of HP trying to do this. And it is 5 versus 2. 5 versus 3. 5 versus... 5. Yeah, no, it's... sorry. It is 2 versus 3. Can still go every which way, but the 2-1... Ooh. Yeah! We have a Batchet in trouble, and he could have survived that potentially, but nope. And with 830 points, the only one left here is Dragon Creek, and he's not going to survive this. And this game will be for Void. There's not much really he can do. He will go into the line of fire of the E3 or the mouse. And he's not going to survive this. And there we go, he does get another shot in. And again, just too aggressive a move by Rain. That AMX 50B pushing in behind base A on its own, not a bad move. But going for an E3 like that and allowing the enemy to turn around and basically just murder you, that did not work out at all. And I think that was a way too risky move. Otherwise they might have had it if they had been more careful. And we have Rain now ready for Naval Frontier with 4 IS-4s, 268, a 140 and a mouse. And Void is ready with a 268, 3 113s, 2 IS-4s and a 140. We have just over a minute left to go. And then we get to see the 5th match of this best of 9. And slowly the pressure is being turned on for Rain. Because the first one to get 5 victories is the one that takes home the title. And we just wait patiently before we go into the match. We see a lot of heavies though, and I think that generally works quite well on this map. "18 seconds left. It's kind of funny to look at all 3 servers. I've been streaming a lot of Asia, a lot of EU, and a lot of NA. And you see different dynamics on every server, and that's quite fun actually. Because you start comparing it in your head and it just doesn't match up, because they are very different servers with very different playstyles. And here we go. Up, up and away. We have the mites going towards the middle. Base A being pretty much abandoned. Everyone is going towards base B or the area thereabouts, with the exception of his Royal Fatness, which is going more towards the middle there. The 268 being pushed up potentially. But that is taking a lot of time, and it might be too much time. First shot's going in though. And we have the 268 that is almost at the top. Glory is losing some HP. Coyote Tango is losing some HP. And they are missing the butts. It is not working. Oh my god. They can't really do much though. They can't push harder than they can. And it is a failed push. And in the meantime, Void has managed to grab base C. And now the mice are going for different positions. The 268 is deciding what to do. And it could have been epic, no doubt they trained it, but the moment that the IS-4's front came under the 268 butt and no longer touched it, the 268 could no longer move up. Now the mice are moving in, and that can be very tricky because they can lose a lot of HP doing this. TJ moving in to cap the base. Base A is pretty much ignored. TJ immediately losing some HP for that. 268 repositioning himself to shoot the mouse, but it is expected. Glory losing a ton of HP there. And they still manage to get base B, but the point advantage is about 160 points for Void. So the pressure is definitely still on Rain to make a move. The mice pushing back, or pulling back I should say more. Now ready to make a move elsewhere. Void pulling back together. Base A now being kept. Not sure if he's gonna get away with it, but he's definitely gonna try. And they kinda need that pressure. Ooh, almost. April Panda now pulling back. If he were to cap the other side of the base, he would get away with it. And now Void is pulling back there. And that means that he could try it again. But he's not risking it. And in this case he kind of really should. We see the planes going by. There we go, base A being kept again. And this time, he just drove out of it. He didn't need to, but he did. 268 now moving in. And he's turning around. Again, he should just cap on the other side. But now going there might cost him quite a bit of HP. We have the mice that are moving in. Rain is making a move. Base A is being kept again. The one Mo is pushing in. And this time there is no stopping them and they will cap base A. TJ losing some HP. Now the pressure will be on Void to make a change. But Rain has to be careful not to overextend this. April Panda in a bit of a tricky position there. Not much he can do. Shots being taken by Mo. Mo in an excellent position there. But now Mo is gonna get rushed. And it will be very tricky. We have Void rushing in or going after Mo. April Panda not really able to help him. He is surviving though. And we see HP vanishing all around. We have Fishy that is moving in, going to help. The mice are moving in. Together with the IS-4, they're focusing there. April Panda is almost gone. He just manages to survive. Base A is being kept. They need to take the tanks out of the equation if they want this to work. Ghost Ranger. Oof, Dragon Creek almost gone. There goes Ghost Ranger. 980 points. They need one more tank out of the equation and then Rain. Ooh, tanks are vanishing all around. Base A now being kept again. There goes Fishy. It's everyone's game now. Mo almost gone. 990 points. Glory still surviving. Base C and A now being capped. But there goes Mo. And the game is for Void. Oof, what a game that was. And now the pressure is definitely on Rain. They have to win every single match from now on if they want to take the championship home. And Void has a very luxurious position of only having to win one of those games. So we are getting ready for the second match of on Naval Frontier. And Void is completely readied up with a 268, 2 215Bs, 3 IS... oh, actually maybe not. 2 IS4s, an Object 140 and an E3. And we have Rain ready with 4 IS4s, 2 268 and a Bat Chat. So we have less than 1 minute left to go. Everyone is ready. And we just need to wait for the game to be ready as well. Like I said, pressure is definitely on Rain now. They have to win every single match. But these have been some very close games. And I think Rain pushing in completely or somewhat ineffectively is what has cost them the game so far. And Void is just taking those point advantages and just making it work. And it's just lovely to see. We have 12 seconds left to go before we go into the fifth match. The pressure is definitely on now. And we are ready. And let's see what they do for the second match on Naval Frontier. 6th match of the best of 9. No pressure. Oof. And here we go, up and away. And we see Rain splitting up a little bit, focusing mainly on the C side. And we have Void doing similar things on the other side. TJ potentially going for A. No, he's going more towards the middle. And he has been spotted already. He does manage to avoid taking damage there though. But he does put himself in a position where he can't really do much. We see some action going on here. N13 losing some HP, trying to cross over. Dragon Creek capping. The 215Bs getting some shots in. And now those two IS4s are in tricky positions. And Void is capping base C and getting away with it too. We see Glory at the back heading towards base A. And that means the pressure will definitely be on Rain, because then Void will have 2 bases. Fishy not watching the A side, they are letting that happen. Ghost Ranger just took a massive hit though. But the pressure will definitely be on Rain. They have to, in all ways, they have to win. They have the disadvantage for bases, disadvantage for points, disadvantage for HP, if not that much. And for positions, because Dragon Creek is not in the position you really want to be in. Ooh, he is being absolutely hammered. And he is pulling back now, but there's not much he can do. Glory taking a little bit of HP damage there. There goes Dragon Creek. And he's the first one to go. Stuff is happening in the middle. Korra losing a lot of HP there. Batchat facing off against Glory, but he's now on the clip reload. And that can be very tricky because he's now a one-shot and Glory is not. They need to get the bases. They also need to survive. There goes N13. I'm trying to show you this action. He's hugging the rock too closely. Ooh. Ooh, that was... Hated Fate is almost gone. Batchat miraculously surviving. But he has one shot now. And by now, Glory has help. That bounce though. He is running off. I wonder if he's gonna get away with it. Probably not. There he goes. And Rain is bleeding HP and bleeding tanks. Bleeding points. We are at 940 points. Mo is almost gone. this is basically, this is Void's game. Void has it. And Void is taking home the championship. There goes Mo. We are at 1k points. And the game is over. And the tournament is over. And Void took it home. Void is the spring season champion. Very nicely done. Very lovely games. Love how Void keeps pulling together and getting those base caps very early. And making pretty much impossible for Rain to pull it back. Well, not pretty much, actually impossible, because we saw that. So congratulations to Void for the championship. Thank you for all the epic games that I have been seeing. These were absolutely lovely. Great finals. Definitely worthy of the finals. And yeah, like I said, congratulations to Void. Epically played by all teams that I've seen so far in this whole tournament thing. It's been my absolute pleasure to stream it. And I hope you guys enjoy it. So I wish you all a very good night, or good evening, or good morning, wherever on the world you are. And that is the end of the Spring Season Professionals Tournament with TNM as champions on the Asia server, Eros as champions on the EU server, and Void as champions on the NA server. Congratulations to you all. Good night.